Today's the day. We're gonna win. We're gonna fight, fight, fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
Play with your brothers. You got a great opportunity. Let's go seize the moment. Let's go play.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
14-10, beat USC. Our defense played their butts off. Picked up our offense when we needed it. 138-34. Our offense picked up our defense when they needed it. That's a football team coming together. In the second half, when we needed it, we came up with 2 key stops on defense. 2 huge stops. I told you, you got to whip the guy over you. You got to whip the guy over you and play physical. We did that when we needed it. And then offensively, we had to out-execute Navy in the second half. We had 3 possessions. We had 3 touchdowns. That's how you win football games.
Head coach Brian Kelly talking to his team after the Irish came from behind to beat Navy for Notre Dame's 7th win of the 2013 season. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. Coach Kelly was very pleased with the resiliency of his football team against Navy, a football team that began the game with 2 starting offensive linemen out with injuries, and a football team that ended the game with 10 defensive players that were on the training camp 2 deep on the sidelines due to injuries.
I'm about winning football games and being around winners. Winners find a way to get the job done, and this group has done it, and they've done it a lot. And so anytime that you're in a battle, you want to be around guys that find ways to win, and this football team certainly did it yesterday.
When you have the most live college football,
food's ready.
Okay, coming.
All you want to do is watch college football.
To the corner.
With Xfinity from Comcast, you get the most live college football, including ESPN Go Line on all your devices. You can't get all that with satellite. So switch to the Xfinity HD Premier XF Triple Play, or ask about other bundles starting as low as $99 a month for a year.
Your home for the most live sports. Xfinity.
One more. Let's go, yo. Go.
One more.
One more time. Come on. One more. Let's get it. Let's go.
Proven hydration to help replace what you sweat out.
One for the championship. Let's go.
Before they earned enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for Benny's expenses. Before they earned 1% back on all purchases, everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before earning 3% back on gas, with no hoops to jump through. They opened a Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card just in time to open their hearts. That's the magnitude of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
You know the problem with tall things in small spaces? Like dishes that don't fit in the top rack of the dishwasher. Come into Sears. I'll tell you about our one-hand adjuster on our exclusive Kenmore Elite dishwasher. It's amazing what'll happen when tall things have the right space. Also amazing, J.D. Power ranks Kenmore Elite highest in customer satisfaction.
One appliance store helps more people find savings and solutions than any other.
This is Sears.
Notre Dame elected to receive after winning the toss before the Navy game, and the Irish again began the game with an up-tempo, no-huddle offense.
Tommy has really settled into that as something that he really has done a nice job with. It's been a nice way for us to get off to a quick start. It's something that we've been talking about all year as being one of our tenets, get off to a good quick start.
And it was very obvious that you were very happy with George Atkinson's 41-yard touchdown run.
I was, because it was, you know, what we've been talking about, right? It's north and south, get your pads down and supply the power and the power, and he certainly did that, and I was excited for him. You know, he stays on the field running the football like that.
Navy answered with a touchdown, and you responded with a 45-yard pass to T.J. Jones on first down that helped set up a field goal.
I was a little concerned. You know, we didn't want to kick field goals there. You know, we had a nice play-action pass, and the throw needed to be a little bit better on third down, and maybe the catch needed to be a little bit better to Troy Nicholas. We wanted to score a touchdown in that situation. We had to settle for 3 points, but again, another score on the second possession.
Now your defense got a stop, and you're driving for another score when the wet field hurts you.
Yeah, the wet field hurt us on that dig route to T.J. Jones. He went down. Tommy threw it on time, which he has to on a in-cutting route, and Navy comes up with a big turnover.
They score, they take the lead, but you come right back again with a beautiful Reese to Jones 36-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, it was a great throw and catch, and here's the two guys that are on the same page. They actually, the safety did not bite on a double move. He kept the leverage on TJ, but TJ broke the route off, flattened it out. Tommy threw a great pass, and we get back on the board and take the lead.
The margin for error is so small, and on their next scoring drive to take the lead back, they got a big help from a strange call that nobody enters into it, but that's 15 yards that you had stopped them on third down.
You know, the breaks of the game, and you know, they were able to keep the possession, and obviously it turned out into them getting another score.
It's very easy at this point to start to go in the tank, to start to lose your discipline and lose your assignments because you're frustrated, and they didn't do that.
I look towards the discipline of the kids that we have that helps us keep them in that mindset that they got to do their job, and they've had a lot of success, and it wasn't going their way, but they didn't start breaking down. They stayed together as a group and had better success later.
Later being the second half, after Coach Kelly did not mince words in the locker room at halftime about the things the Irish needed to do to win the game.
This is a simple discussion. Very simple. Out-execute Navy from an offensive standpoint. Do your job as it relates to the defensive structure. Do your job and whip them physically, and you'll win the game.
You like to try new things. Now we have bold new tastes like never before.
You like things made by hand.
We're now grilling up freshly made egg whites.
You like to cool down.
We just added a refreshing new smoothie. You get wrapped up in things. We're introducing new, delicious ways for you to eat. There's no one quite like you. Now more than ever, there's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. Be in our ad. Go to I'mLovinIt.com.
You know the problem with tall things in small spaces? Like dishes that don't fit in the top rack of the dishwasher. Come into Sears. I'll tell you about our one-hand adjuster on our exclusive Kenmore Elite dishwasher. It's amazing what'll happen when tall things have the right space. Also amazing, J.D. Power ranks Kenmore Elite highest in customer satisfaction.
One appliance store helps more people find savings and solutions than any other.
This is Sears.
Customer Aaron Swenson bought from us online today, so I'm happy.
Sales go up, I'm happy.
It went out today, I'm happy.
What if she's not at home?
She won't be happy.
Use UPS. She can get a text alert, reroute, even reschedule a package. It's UPS My Choice.
You happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
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 I love logistics.
Navy had the lead and got the ball to start the second half, and the Irish knew they could not afford to let the midshipmen go up by 2 scores.
We needed a stop, and then we needed to get the ball right back, and we did. It was a nice stop by our defense. We only get 3 possessions in the second half, and we make them all count.
And on that first possession, 11-play scoring drive, 8 runs, including 4 by Tarian Folston.
Yeah, Torian did a very nice job in the second half, running the football up front. You know, we had 4 first-year players on that offensive line. Offensive line deserves a lot of credit, giving us the opportunity to run the football.
And on that first drive of the second half for you, those runs helped set up that play-action touchdown pass to Koyak.
It was a great misdirection bootleg, and it's good to see Ben Koyak catching some touchdown passes. It's been a while, but I think he's got 3 now in the last few games.
At this point, with the rhythm Navy is in on offense, it's not surprising they come back and score again. And you again respond with the running game. Folston picking up an amazing 44 yards on 3 carries.
The defensive structure was now set up to try to take away some of the inside run. We got the ball on the perimeter. Again, good blocking on the perimeter. Our tight ends did a good job of sealing the edge, and it was left up to our backs to make some real good moves.
Well, in the fourth quarter, Navy scores again, takes the lead again. You get the ball back right around the 9-minute mark, and everybody in the stadium knows you have to score.
There's more pressure on you now that you have to now score on this drive, and our kids just kept persevering, and they don't let that affect them. They go out, they execute. It was a great drive, and they put 7 more points on the board.
So it's 3rd and 8. You have to convert, and you do with a 28-yard pass to Nicholas.
You know, one of our standard plays where we've got TJ coming in on an in-cutting route. Tommy saw 2 deep coverage, and a linebacker against Troy Nicholas is a positive matchup, and Tommy threw a great ball. Troy went up and 2 hands on the football, made a great catch, and a big 3rd down conversion.
Folston said after the game, never before in his football career had he ever dove over the line. Right. I mean, is that just the adjustment, the ability to know just what you have to do in doing it?
Yeah, he's a really instinctive kid, and he's an instinctive back, but he's a smart kid too. He knows when to make people miss, and he knows when to lower his shoulder.
Big play. Somebody had to make the play. It's 4th and 4, and your team made the play.
You know, they still had to score a touchdown. So in that situation, you know, if you bring all-out blitz, we don't have a safety on the backside. We didn't. We stayed in our coverage, and it allowed us to have a safety on the backside of the reverse. So when the reverse came back, Jalen Smith redirected. Eiler Hardy was able to fire down, kind of disrupted a little bit. You know, Jalen Smith was in a good position to make the tackle.
There is your final score. The Irish win at 38-34 and again provide must-see TV to football fans all across the country. With the 9 lead changes being the most in any game in Notre Dame history, the Irish were ranked 25th in the BCS standings when they took on Navy, and the victory lifted the Irish to 23 in this week's BCS standings. There is a look at your final stats provided by UND.com. Even though Navy ran 23 more plays and had the ball a full quarter more than the Irish, Notre Dame outgained the midshipmen by 87 yards, evidence of that efficiency on offense that Coach always talks about. The star of this game for Notre Dame was freshman running back Tarian Folston, who picked up a career-high 140 yards and 18 carries, including 7 runs of 10 or more yards. His impressive run of 14 yards early in the fourth quarter when he hurdled a lineman to get to the hole is this week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week.
Hey, that's the way to run the football. Now here's the deal, we got to go again because we're scoring, so we got to get ready to go again, you know what I'm saying? That's the way to run. Let me get something.
Brian Kelly's next man in philosophy was on full display against Navy. The next man in is expected to perform at the same level as the man he replaces. Next man in safety Eiler Hardy certainly did that Saturday, making 4 tackles and slowing down Navy's final play to enable Jalen Smith to make the game-ending tackle.
It's great just to see our guys come together as a team, offensively, defensively, and special teams. We stuck together.
Shows how close, you know, our unit just as a football team is. You know, it's not offense, defense, it's one unit. And like tonight, you see we play together. They get the key stops. The offense took advantage of those stops, so we come out on top.
You know, we've proven that we can, you know, win some of these close ones, and I think it's the, shows the fortitude and the, type of character we have as a team when you're able to, stay, focused and, really grind it out for 4 quarters.
The Irish have now won 13 of their last 14 games decided by 7 points or less, including 10 in a row. What does it take to continually win close games?
I think it takes being able to lean on each other, being able to hold your teammate accountable for their responsibilities, knowing that they're going to do their job to the best of their ability while you do yours.
It's never a soft game against Navy, and they're a great bunch of guys who run downhill, play hard. So we knew there was going to be a 4-quarter game, so we went out with that mindset, and glad we walked out with the W.
We've come together as a team here, against Coach Kelly said, for example, against SC, defense kind of carried the offense today. The offense was able to score, and the defense was able to come up with the big stops. So really coming together as a team.
As Zach mentioned at the start of the show, you heard Coach Kelly compliment the Irish offense for picking up the defense against Navy the same way the defense picked up the offense against USC. As we go to break, this Just the Facts gives us more evidence of just how successful Notre Dame was on offense against Navy.
You wait all year for summer. This summer was definitely worth the wait. Summer's best event from Cadillac. Let summer try and pass you by. Lease this all-new Cadillac ATS for around $299 per month, or purchase for 0% APR for 60 months. The best offers of the model year end September 3rd.
Can I help you? Excuse me, hi. I wanted to find out about the Unlimited for Life guarantee.
Sure, Sprint is guaranteeing unlimited talk, text, and data for life.
Cool. And what if, say, technically you were not alive? Like, maybe you were undead?
Like a zombie.
Whoa, let's not go putting labels on people. I'm a zombie.
Switch to Sprint and get unlimited for life. And now, save up to $100 on any phone.
Yes, Notre Dame has dominated the series with Navy, but that does not mean close games like this past weekend's Irish victory are all that unusual. Case in point, Notre Dame's 21-17 win over the Midshipmen back in 1997.
Three-man rush, 8 men in coverage. There go the trips to the far side.
The tackle to save the game against Navy. We were up and the game was in hand. They threw up a desperate Hail Mary.
5 to protect the quarterback against 3. And he just heaves it up.
Pete Cooper, who was our safety at the time, instead of just knocking the ball down, he wanted to patent his stats a little bit and try to get an interception. Well, another guy, Devron Harper, a corner, had the same idea, and they ran smack into each other. And the ball went up in the air, and there happened to be a Navy guy who maybe had just gotten down there, got the ball, and was scot-free to the end zone.
And he just heaves it up to see what can happen at the other end. It's caught.
The last second, I saw what was occurring. I'm definitely confident I'm going to catch him, but what I was thinking is somebody's going in a cold tub because this game should definitely be over.
It's caught. Oh, my goodness. At the 1-yard line, LeBron Budd 69 yards out of time on the play. I don't believe it. The game is over. Charlie, this is shades of Doug Flutie, Boston College, Gerard Phelan. It's kind of tipped around by Pete Cooper. And it's a catch. There's no question whatsoever. Allen Robinson has the good sense to stay with the play and saves the game by less than a yard.
I had no doubt I would catch him.
The trailer gets it. Rossum keeps his head.
I gave both of those guys who had the opportunity to get the interception but boggled it. I gave them tons of trouble afterwards. Some people may have even been tied to a goalpost or two and held underwater for a certain amount of seconds.
Ending on that play, 34th consecutive win over Navy for Notre Dame.
You know, it's just as stressful watching that final play on tape as it was to watch it live back in '97. Nick Martin was one of the anchors of a very young offensive line on Saturday that helped the Irish average an impressive 7.3 yards per carry. Now, even though this is Nick's first year as Notre Dame starting center, he has played like a veteran all season long, earning him a shot on this week's 60-second drill hot seat. Favorite all-time movie?
The Program.
First car you ever drove?
98 Jeep Cherokee.
Player on the team most like you?
Zach.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Zach Brown Band.
Favorite TV show?
Sopranos.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Jennifer Aniston.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Chocolate chip pancakes with a glass of milk.
Favorite sports team?
Colts.
Get up early or sleep in?
Get up early.
First thing that comes to mind when you think about Camp Shiloh?
Fun.
Climbing wall or zip line?
Zip line.
Toughest player to block on the team?
Lewis Nix.
Hardest hitter on the team?
Jared Grace.
Best singer on the team?
Andrew Hendricks.
Best dancer on the team?
Prince Shimbo.
Best comedian on the team?
Tyler Stockton.
Best dresser on the team?
Christian Lombard.
Worst dresser on the team?
Zach Martin.
Best player to room with on the road?
Christian Lombard.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Go Irish.
Nick Martin, you've completed 60 seconds at Inside Notre Dame Football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that pie looks wonderful. Be sure to sugar that.
At Meijer, we've got everything you need for the perfect Thanksgiving dinner.
Over here, yes.
All at low Meijer prices.
Oh, they're here.
And that's better for everyone. Because when your money goes a little further, so can you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Come on in.
I'm very happy I made the switch.
It's easy.
They're great.
As I go out, being nervous about going out into the world.
You switch because
for what you get and what they give back.
Of the people.
It'd just be another thing that I know is there for me all the time.
It's a no-brainer.
It's about family. It's about values. It's about doing things the right way.
And that's why I'm sticking with them.
You just get sucked in, and it's great. We're there.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Come home.
You know you're going to get the best when you go to Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question, presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Phil Rister of Columbus, Ohio, who asks, Coach, what benefit do the current players receive from having former players like Danny Spond and David Grimes closely associated with the team?
Well, I think the benefit is their experience as a player, and then being able to communicate with them as not only a player, but certainly as a peer as well. And a coach can do that, but it takes a different form. So as a former player, but still a peer, in other words, somebody that they've suited up with, it really has a great way of getting that message across. And they have been, both of them have been great resources for our program.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Yes, indeed, the television networks love the Irish. For the 5th time this season, Notre Dame will play in prime time on Saturday night when they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the 4-4 Panthers of Pitt.
It's Pittsburgh. It's a physical team. It's one that took us to overtime last year. I know they're still thinking about that, and they're coming off a couple of losses, and it's just like Navy. It was their Super Bowl. It'll be huge for Pittsburgh to play on national television. So we'll have to regroup, get our guys ready, and be prepared for another big football game in Pittsburgh.
That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. We, of course, will have all the highlights of the 69th meeting between Notre Dame and Pittsburgh on next week's show. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football has also been brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meijer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.